Hey everybody, Jeff aka GCurse here. I hope you're all having a great day. It is currently 1:18 p.m. on the 27th of January 2024. It is a wet and cool Saturday here in the city of Kelso, Washington. I hope you're all having a great day. This is actually the first video I'm making with my new computer. The new computer actually came in yesterday and I'm actually pretty happy with it. I was thinking about doing a major unboxing and all that stuff. I got the first part done, but I'm not really sure how I would show it to you guys, the rest of it. I can show you the first part, but I'm not sure, like how it would all look and everything. But overall, I'm very happy with it. It's a nice computer, actually. But anyway, I'm still in the process of doing the review, working on my review, or unboxing and review of the Starscream, the Reactivate Starscream figure, and I'm just not really feeling this figure. I don't like it. I'll be honest. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I do not like this figure. I think there's been a lot better Starscream figures out there. But since I'm taking a little bit of extra time with that unboxing and review, I figured I would actually delve into the thing of doing lists. I can't recall who the person was, but a person talked about like what figures they would like to see from Legacy United. So, I thought, hell, I could try dipping my hand into something like that. So, let's actually get to that, shall we? So, I was originally planning on doing a top 10 list, but no, top 10 can't do it. I'm doing a top 11 figures. Now, keep in mind, nothing in this list, I have no contacts at all in the industry. I don't know anybody, so basically what this list is literally a list of a fan who has loved Transformers ever since the 80s. I'm just a fan. This is basically my wish list of what I would love to see in Legacy Evolution. Some of these choices I look at based upon like other characters, and I'm like, okay, that guy could be here because this guy is here, so that's something I'll look at also. But when it comes to like somebody up high talking to me, nope, never happens. Like I said, I'm just a simple guy who is going to be giving you his thoughts about what he would like to see coming into Legacy. And even if these figures do not make it into Legacy United, the next trilogy of releases next year will most likely have some of these figures possibly. But anyway, so let's get to it, shall we? So, wait, hold on. Okay, so let's get to it right about now. I will admit that I am a fan when it comes to the oddball characters of Transformers. The characters that you really don't always see that often are the ones I really like. When I was 6 years old, my mom got me it was the Predacon clones. They're the ones on the bottom of this image that you can see. Their names was Pounce and Wingspan. Pounce was like a panther, if I remember correctly, and Wingspan was like an eagle. Their Autobot variants was Fast Clash or however you want to pronounce it, and Wingspan, or no, not Wingspan, Cloudraker. Sorry, Wingspan was the Decepticon. But anyway, I loved those Decepticon clones. I actually loved them so much that when I found out that Takara was releasing God, I can't recall what they were called, but they're the smaller ones that were, or the core class that were released during Titan's Return, if I remember correctly. I actually got those 2 packs because I loved them so much. I would love to actually see these figures with modern engineering. Everything from the articulation to the detailing that could be put onto that could be molded into the plastic. The only thing I also wish is that, unlike the core class Titan's Return figures that I have, I wish that they actually had will come with weapons. For some reason, they never released the clones during Time's Return with any kind of accessory at all. You just got the figures. Another thing I wish that they would have done was the rub signs actually do not work on those figures. They never worked. They're stickers, but they look like the rub signs, but they do not work, which is kind of sad. But yeah, so that is the clones. Fast Clash, Cloud Raker for the Autobots, or right there, yeah, right there, and then Wingspan and Pounce down there. Next up, we have a series of 6 figures that hold a very deep or very close part of my heart, basically. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but because of the way I acquire these figures, they will always be that special to me. When I was a child, as many times before I've said that, my parents were divorced. And I had difficulties at going to school because I had severe separation anxiety because of the fact that I only had one real parent in my life. The other parent I'd go and visit for the holidays. Well, my mom, she needed me to go to school, but every time she'd try to get some distance, I'd start breaking down. Well, she figured if she could not get me to the class and quietly back away because I would always stay near her, she would give me something to keep my attention on until the lesson would start and my attention would then be on the teacher. That is why she got, well, first I'll actually get into a little bit of the history though. Across the street from where I live, actually, there is a mall, and 20 plus years ago, oh my god, I can't believe it's been 24 years since KB Toys has closed. But anyway, she would take me to KB Toys just before kindergarten would start. Kindergarten would start like at noon every day. I'm not sure why they started so late. There was like 2 at that time. I'm not sure if it's still common, but there's like a kindergarten AM class and a PM class. So I was in the PM class. But anyway, my mom would take me to KB Toys, and she would get me a Transformer, just something to, like I said, to help keep my eyes, my attention, basically in the classroom. That way, when she would back out, I would not totally lose my fucking mind, basically. But anyway, it was during this time that I actually got the entire set of 6, and those are the Triggercons and the Triggerbots. Now, I currently own, let's see here, I own Ruckus, not Ruckus, Crankcase here. Let me see if I can move, or can I make this a little bit smaller? That way you guys can see it. There you go. So, currently, from the Legacy line, Crankcase was, sold, and I have him. It has been actually announced that coming up from an Amazon package, if I remember, or exclusive, if I remember correctly, we're going to get Ruckus. Well, that still leaves. Okay, so we have Backstreet. I think that's his name. Override is the one to its right. Underneath Override is Windsweeper. Hold on, I think it's Windsweeper. I just want to make sure I got the name right. Hold on. Yeah, Windsweeper. And then next to Windsweeper is Dogfight. And he's like an Autobot jet, which is kind of rare, for Autobots. But anyway, I would love to get the rest of these. I'm hoping, since we're going to be getting Ruckus, this year as part of the Amazon exclusive set, and I think that one's called, isn't that called the Mayhem Attack Squad or something like that? But anyway, I'm hoping that we can get Windsweeper and then the Autobot, or the Triggerbots, basically. I would love to get updated, versions of those. Even if we just get Windsweeper, at least we'll have all the trigger cons. I'm still seeing possible potential here for the Triggerbots to be released, even if they're not released this year. They may be released in the next trilogy, because if anything that Hasbro is showing, they're showing that they're at least willing to work on subgroups. We got like all the Insecticons through Legacy and Legacy Evolution. We started getting Pretenders in Legacy and Legacy Evolution. Did we get any Evolution? I know we got some in Legacy. I can't. So I'm hoping that we will get the rest of the Trigger Cons and then the Triggerbots. That'd be fucking awesome. And I understand that the gimmick of the Triggerbots and Trigger Cons was that they had spring-loaded weapons. Even though Crankcase did not have spring-loaded weapons, the figure I still loved. So I am willing to forego getting the having the spring-loaded gimmick if we can at least get the characters. But that was number 2. Now these positions do not mean anything. These are just how basically they appeared on the list of when I would save the images and everything after I type their names in. It's nothing like one is the most important and the 11 is not. It's just how the computer saved their files. So basically, that is it for number 2. So let's get to number 3, shall we? For number 3 is a figure I never actually owned in Generation 1, but I actually do own it in Titan's Return. This is a figure that the rest of his subgroup has actually been released in both in War for Cybertron, War for Cybertron Earthrise, I think it was, and Legacy. So, I figure it's only fair that we wrap up Legacy United with Octane. Now, I know that his name is Octane. No, to me, his name is Octane. It's just like Reflector and not Refractor, and Slag, not Slug. This guy's name is Octane. I don't give a flying fuck what what Hasbro would want us to say, but he's Octane. But anyway, I have him on the list because honestly, even though the figure from Titan's Return is serviceable from a visual standpoint, to me it just doesn't do it play-wise. Even though I don't play with my figures, it just looks like it would not be that fun. And once again, this kind of goes with the whole thing with the clones. I think that this would be an awesome figure with modern engineering. Also, if it does not have that stupid fucking Headmaster gimmick. My personal belief is that the Headmaster gimmick really fucked up a lot of these figures because you had to design the figure around the goddamn Headmaster, and it was that fun to me. I'm sorry, it wasn't. It takes away a lot because now instead of trying to figure out how the head would convert in with the alt mode, now you just pull it off. You just no. I like it when it's all one solid figure. So I would actually like to see Octane get a modern day update. We got oh god, what's his fucking name? Astrotrain and Blitzwing. We might as well go with Octane next. Like what's wrong? Make it make it happen, Hasbro. You guys can do it. Let's do it. If there's one thing that I've kind of shown is I love gimmicks, except for Titan Masters, of course. If there's anything that Transformers or Hasbro excels at, it's that of gimmicks. I'll be honest, it's gimmicks. That's why the next figure, it's actually not just a figure, it's actually a group. I know you're going to say, well, that's kind of cheating. It's my list. But Hasbro actually did a pretty damn good job with the Menasor combiner back in Legacy, even though they made Motormaster almost damn near impossible to acquire. But the figure itself overall is pretty fucking awesome. That is why I think that we should have more fucking combiners. Just bring them all out. Bring them all out. Don't do it as a big fuck fest like Combiner Wars. But maybe in Legacy United have Superion. Everybody's been fucking clamoring for Superion ever since they got the War Dawn package. I got War Dawn. I got a Hero or Heroes Born or something like that. I got those two packages. It's only natural we'd get Superion. So I'm hoping that possibly because of the fact that we got Minosaur, back in Legacy, we may get another combiner in Legacy United. But yeah, so that is it for number 5. Let's see, is there anything else I really want to say? Just bring them on. I just hope that whatever the next combiner is done with the same care and dedication that the Legacy Minosaur has. Have you ever had a figure that just, no matter what, makes you smile because of the fond memories? Well, that is what is next when it comes to my number 5th pick. Or, I don't want to say number 5th pick because, like I said, it's all based on what the computer, because it's all alphabetized and everything. But that's what number 5 is on this list. This is a figure that I actually owned when I was younger. Like I said, it's one of the few that I had back in G1. And this guy's name is Landfill. That's right, this guy's name is Landfill. He was a Target Master, or he came with Target Masters, if I remember correctly. But basically, he turned into, I think it was like a big dump truck or something. I love the coloring. The coloring actually reminds me of detritus. And that's actually one of the things I kind of mentioned when I first saw the reveal of detritus last year for one of the fan streams. I was like, man, that reminds me so much of Landfill. And now you can see why it reminds me so much of Landfill. But anyway, I had this figure. I loved it. For the first about year and a half, I thought my figure was actually broken because I did not realize you had to rotate his arms because his arms were part of the bed of the truck. So you had to rotate the arms. Well, I thought that my figure was somehow put together wrong. And, for a year when he would be in his primary mode, his arms would be back behind him. and I just used to remember looking at that figure and I'm like, oh, God. Is he broken? Why is he broken? I was still pretty young. I did not think to logically look at everything. I just, I fumbled my way, as a lot of us when we were younger, when we had Transformers. We did not read the instructions. Some of us were not, we did not have the reading skills yet, the proficiency. And I'll be honest, that's kind of like where I was with this figure. So basically, I would just learn to make it, to convert it just by trial and error. Well, like I said, I got him, converted into his robot mode, except for his arms, which were behind him. And he looked just so fucking weird. I can't recall exactly when it was, but I remember that I was looking at the figure, and I don't even know what I was thinking, but something prompted me to take the figure and the arm and just kind of rotate it. And there, boom, it finally fucking worked. He looked like Landfill and everything, and I was so happy. I was so happy because my figure was not broken. I thought I was broken, and I didn't want to go to my mom and go, hey, Mom, my toy is broken. So I literally just hid, my shame and everything. I was just like, but I am so glad that I figured it out. The sad thing is, shortly after I got this guy, even though I still love Transformers, I started fading off and collecting other things. It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, following Transformers. But yeah, I would love to see not Detritus. I have Detritus, but I would love to see this guy. I'd love to see Landfill. Maybe even, I'm kind of torn. Should he be either a core class or even possibly a Voyager? I don't see that they'd ever do him as a Voyager. It'd either be a core class or a deluxe, and if that's the case, I'm hoping it'd be a deluxe. That way you can get a little bit extra detail. And whatever you do, do not give him his Target Masters, because I have the Target Masters that came with needle nose. I would rather spend a little bit extra money and having some decently made Target Masters and not whatever the fuck that shit was that we got with needle nose. Up next, I am basically lumping an entire group, kind of like what I did with the combiners, but whereas combiners basically made like the whole gimmick was basically you would have a bunch of smaller figures, but the main figure was the combined form. For me, up next, I'm going to be lumping an entire group of figures together. Once again, my list, but I feel that Hasbro really dropped the ball with these figures that were released in Legacy, and I think Legacy Evolution. I can't recall of anywhere in Legacy Evolution. I know that somewhere in Legacy, but anyway, that is why I'm going to go with the Pretenders for number 6. I actually own Skullgrin, Iguanus, and a Bomb Burst. I honestly feel I'm willing to understand them not having the shell anymore. I understand that. If the primary and alt mode of the Transformer looks good, I'm willing to forego the whole outer shell. The problem was Bomb Burst and Iguanus looked fucking awesome. Their alt modes were pretty decent also. The problem was that they released those figures as core class. Skullgrin, although he was a deluxe class, the major problem with that figure was the head was like the horns were fucking real soft rubber, and as were the weapons. But the rest of the figure was fucking nice. I would love to see them possibly do, more Pretenders, and possibly even release a deluxe version of Bomb Burst and Iguanus. Hell, we get a core class Optimus Prime and a larger, like a deluxe or a Voyager class Optimus Prime. There should be no problem upgrading both Bomb Burst and Iguanus to deluxe class. I would actually love to see the rest of the Pretenders. I'm not saying give us all the Pretenders in one product line. Just keep trickling some more out. Just trickle. Some more. Some in Legacy United, and then whatever the next trilogy of release product lines will be. Now, here is an interesting figure that is on the list. This is actually a figure I never owned. I didn't even know of this figure until I saw pictures of this figure during the Thrilling 30 product line when I was going to college. If there's one thing that you know from my unboxing and review videos, the more accessories, the more weapons, fucking awesome. Good. Give us more. I want fucking, weapons coming out the ass. They're robots. Give them fucking 10,000 guns. Give them fucking, melee weapons. Give them just a shit ton of accessories. That is why up next, number 7, is Roadbuster. Now, here's the thing, though. I remember seeing an image of this guy, and he had so many weapons. I'm thinking, oh, that guy's so fucking awesome. And he still looks awesome, but I think he would be better with the modern paintbrush added to it. Basically make it a little bit better with all the articulation, detailing. I think it would be fucking awesome. But here's the catch. I originally thought when I first saw Roadbuster, saw pictures of him, I saw his primary mode and his alt mode. I actually thought that he was actually a triple changer. I don't think he is, though. I could not find anything that said that he was a triple changer. However, the size and all the accessories, I think he would actually make an awesome triple changer. Hell, if they could change Megatron for the Bumblebee movie concept and have him be a triple changer, I think he's like a tank, his primary mode, and then I think he has like a jet or something like that. If you can do that to Megatron, why can't you turn Roadbuster into a triple changer? Have him to be the same size as the soon-to-release Sandstorm and Springer. I think this guy would be a fucking awesome triple changer. What do you think? In the comment section, leave your thoughts below, in the comment section. Do you think this guy would be a good triple changer? Do you like Transformers that have a shit ton of weapons like I do? When I see a Transformer, I think they should be like Rambo. Like this guy here. This guy, he looks like fucking Rambo, especially with that ammo belt feeding into the gun. That is fucking awesome. I love that. I hope either way that we get a Roadbuster coming up or coming soon or whatever. Even if he isn't a triple changer, I just hope that he comes with all the accessories because that was fucking awesome. A lot of my fondest memories of Transformers when I was younger was getting the Transformers mistaken for other characters. I remember when I first had Cutthroat. I actually thought that he was just a bigger version of Laserbeak, to be honest. Well, that's the same thing that happened when I got Rollbar. Now, Rollbar, the coloring is just a little bit different in this picture. I think he was a little bit darker. But I originally thought that this guy was Hound when I was a little child. So I thought I had Hound, and then come to find out when I was looking up, oh god, I can't recall what the website is. I think it's called Transformers Land or something like that. But this website has like a list of listed pictures of all the original G1 figures. I saw this figure and I learned his name was Rollbar, and I thought it was originally Hound, and I'm like, oh wait, you're not Hound? You're not Hound. So, but yeah, I would love to see more. I think he's a throttle bot if I remember correctly. I would love to see some throttle bots. Hell, even our pal Rollbar here. I would love to see, these guys get, a modern day treatment. I know I kind of say that all the time. I don't think we even got another Rollbar. I think we only have one Rollbar, and that's from G1. So this guy is definitely due for a release to the modern market, basically. If we can have Optimus Prime after Bumblebee, after Megatron, after Starscream, hell, I got 2 Starscreams right here. If you can have 2 of these guys, within 5 years apart, can't we at least get one motherfucking Rollbar? Come on, the guy's been dormant for over 30 fucking years. Throw him a fucking biscuit or a bone or throw him something. Once again, here we are with another figure that I was not really aware of until I learned about Roadbuster. I was coincidentally, I was actually on eBay looking at pictures or Transformers, and I always told myself once I got out of college and I got a nice paying job, I was going to go to eBay and start buying all the Thrilling 30s figures. And actually, I've been buying a lot of figures, but they're not Thrilling 30s. They're basically what, the Legacy and the Combiner Wars trilogy and the War for Cybertron trilogy. Am I going to get any Thrilling 30 figures? Probably not, because a lot of what's come out in Thrilling 30 I already have, and I think the figures I have are fucking awesome. But anyway, so this is a figure I learned at the same time of Roadbuster. And I think that this figure would make an awesome triple changer also. I don't think he is a triple changer, but that figure is Whirl. Now you're probably thinking, oh no, he wouldn't be a triple changer. But here's my logic, okay? Let's make him a triple changer. Now, I read up on his his TF wiki page, and it says the guy is basically crazy. What if they could tie the triple changer aspect into his his mental disorder, basically? He wouldn't know what alternate form he would want to be from one minute to the other. So he has his helicopter form. And then let's say he's fighting the Decepticons and he's going to pursue them. but he's so crazy he doesn't know which one he wants, so he decides to just become a car and start chasing after it. I would think that I would love to see that this guy gets a new update. I think he was recently released in Thrilling 30. Like I said, well, I don't want to say I think he was released in Thrilling 30. That's how I found him. But I still think, even though it's been 10 years, we are now entering the 40th year. I think we should bring back some of the older guys that don't get that much love. Bring back the Rollbars. Bring back the Triggerbots. Bring back some Pretenders. Hell, bring back Whirl. It's been 10 fucking years. Am I right? Now, I don't know if they've ever released him since Thrilling 30, but you're telling me that out of all the figures we constantly get out of all the characters we constantly get figures of, we can't at least get Whirl every 10 years? Like, come on, man. He looks pretty cool. And this is, besides Shockwave, this is the only other Transformer I've ever seen that is an Autobot and has one eye, whereas Shockwave is the Decepticon and he has one eye. We are now approaching the final two entries of this list. So we are now on number 10. Number 10 is where I am breaking away from the G1 and I am now going into the Beast Wars. Beast Wars was basically the last real Transformer show I saw for over 10 years. I saw a little bit of Beast Machines and I fucking hated it, to be honest. I fucking hated Beast Machines. And I think, honestly, after I saw what I saw of Beast Machines, I think that's what kind of turned me off from getting back into Transformers for quite a while. But anyway, so we're in Beast Wars, and this figure, I am putting this figure on the list not because of the fact that I'm a fan of Transformers, but I'm looking at the figures that have already been released. I'm looking at the figures that have been released, and I think it is time that our boy Depth Charge. I had a brain freeze there for a second. I'm thinking it's time our boy Depth Charge gets a chance to shine in the light again. I mean, if we got Optimal Optimus from Power of the Primes, which I actually own. We got Transmetal 2 Megatron that I also own, and just a couple. I think it's like less than a couple months ago. I got, it was at the beginning of this year, if I remember correctly. I got Tigerhawk. Why not continue the awesome trend of bringing out some of these big badass characters? When I saw Depth Charge back in the late 90s, I saw that character and I was like, oh god, he was set. He literally was like, he was a badass character. I remember one time, I think he was pursuing Rampage, and Optimus gave him orders to go do something, and Depth Charge was basically like, he didn't say exactly like this, but he's like, screw you, I'm going after him, and after Rampage, and I think he went after Rampage, and that was like the first time I ever really could remember anybody telling Optimus Prime or one of his descendants, no, I'm not going to do what you do, I'm going after this guy, But I would love to see what they could do with this guy in Legacy United. Yeah, they'd probably get rid of his disc launching ability and his spring-loaded weapon. Yeah, I understand that. But if you can release something with love and remain kind of true to the character itself, I'm pretty damn sure that the consumers, the fans, will forgive you for it. I would also, the only thing I wish is I hope that it comes with Chrome. I love Chrome. I was so fucking hurt that both Megatron, the Transmetal Megatron and Tigerhawk did not come with any Chrome at all. But that is Depth Charge. Time for some honorable mentions. What would a top 11 list? That's right, I'm so cool. No, I'm not really that cool. But anyway, what would a top 11 list be without your normal honorable mentions? Anyway, so let's get to those honorable mentions. These figures that are on this sub list are basically figures that are awesome, but I just don't think it actually would, should be on the main list. And with the case of a couple of these figures, I think a couple of these figures may actually make it to Legacy United, and I'll explain why. So first up, ladies and gentlemen, we have some Micromasters. I loved the Micromasters from War for Cybertron. Granted, I didn't use, I there's just so many of them, I couldn't really put them on my shelf. I actually have them stored in a little bag that whenever I get a nice bigger place, I could put up a nice long shelf. And some of these, figures that are just too small or whatever, like the Micromasters, I could actually, put out on a shelf. I have like the Micromasters, I have the Battle Masters, I have the Prime Masters in a bag that is just waiting for me to be able to, ever find a house or an apartment or whatever, and I can have long, nice shelves that I can put these things on. But anyway, I loved the Micromasters. I just think that they were kind of not utilized the best to their abilities. Granted, they had some of the modulator figures like Hot House, Ironworks, Grease Pit, and Airwave to interact with. They also had the Titans from previous toy lines. But I feel that something like what we see here would be fucking awesome to add to the Micromasters from the War for Cybertron trilogy. So first off, in the upper left corner we have the Battle Headquarters, and this comes with Full-Barrell and Overflow. This is an Autobot. He kind of reminds me a little bit of a cross between Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime. In the upper right corner, we have the anti-aircraft base with Blackout and Spaceshot. Now, these guys are Decepticons, and if I understood correctly, I'm trying to look at it. It looks. I originally thought it was going to be a tank, but it looks like it's more like an missile launcher or something. But as you can see, with both the Battlefield Headquarters and the anti-air sets, you actually get at least another Micromaster, which is fun. Why did I say fun twice? Anyway, I think these are awesome, additions that could be added to, either Legacy United or even as like an exclusive to Amazon or something. In the lower left, I know you can't really see it, we have the Cannon Transport with Cement Head and Terror Tread. And basically these guys are, if you can't tell from the coloring and the names, these guys are Decepticons. And then we have an Optimus Prime a figure that looks kind of like Optimus Prime. We have Overload. And basically Overload is like a little transport. You could probably put like 5 or 6 of those Micromasters into this guy's trailer, and he can drive them around similar to like Ultra Magnus. Hey, let me take a quick drink. I'll be right back. Alright, but anyway, so I would love to see more Micromasters get some time to shine, basically. I mean, if we can have fucking endless rehashes of armorizers, fossilizers, weaponizers, you're telling me we can't go back for 1 or 2 product lines and bring back some fucking Micromasters? Come on now. Where's the love? But anyway, so up next after these guys in the honorable mentions category, we have who I think could actually have a damn good chance to appear in Legacy United. This is Buzzsaw. He is one of the cassettes for Soundwave. Now, the reason I say that I think we could possibly get this guy is we are going to be getting a leader class Earth mode Soundwave. This Soundwave is basically just a re-release of the Walmart exclusive War for Cybertron trilogy Soundwave. However, since he is going to be leader class, they're going to have to add some shit to him to justify, putting him up to leader class. Reports are that they're going to have him be released with a few cassettes. I would think it would be fucking awesome to have Buzzsaw right there. Have him be, one of the cassettes, because I never had a Soundwave growing up back in the G1 days. But I think, didn't Soundwave come with Buzzsaw? I keep wanting to say Buzzsaw. I say it sounds like I'm saying it's one word. Buzzsaw. But anyway, I would love to see this, this cassette finally get released. I mean, we got Ravage, we got all the other cassettes. Why are we not giving any love to the flying yellow Squawk Box, But up next, after Buzzsaw, it sounds like I'm saying Buzzsaw, but anyway. Up next, here's another figure I think would be fucking awesome in Legacy United. And once again, it's the association. That's why I think this guy could be coming to Legacy United. Because we are in Wave 2 or whatever, Wave 2 or 3, I think it's Wave 2 though, or Wave 1 or what. We are getting Silverbolt. Now, if you watched the Beast Wars cartoon back in the 90s, Quick Strike actually made his debut the same time that Silverbolt did during the whole transmutation or whatever it was called, that event where several Transformers became Transmetals, basically. But yeah, I'm actually shocked we never saw this guy. Well, I'm actually shocked we didn't see Silverbolt either, but in Kingdom. We had, I think, honestly, if we didn't have so many of those fucking fossilizers, I think we actually would have had a good chance to see characters like Quick Strike and like Silverbolt and like Tiger Hawk, be released. But no, they wanted to focus on the fucking shitty fossilizer gimmick. And because of that, some figures that, that the collectors really wanted, or the consumers really wanted, they were kind of left in the dark, like, nope, sorry. Maybe later, But yeah, so I think we're going to have a good chance of getting Quick Strike because they finally released Silverbolt. And, it only makes sense that if you're going to have one Fusor, you're going to have the next Fusor. Okay, now these are more product lines that I would like to see, be released in Legacy United. And the first one... now, there's going to be two more after this, but we're approaching the end of the honorable mentions. GoBots. Yes, they're already releasing some GoBots. I think it's as a Generation Selects. It's either Generations Selects or Amazon. We're supposed to be getting like a 3-pack. I want more. I love GoBots. I have Bugbite, I have Crasher, and I have Road Ranger. I think, honestly, what Hasbro could do, which they never would, though, I think they could give, a chance to let GoBots shine a little bit and give the Transformers brand a year off, basically. Bring out some GoBots, let Transformers rest. Kind of like how it's kind of like the original gimmick was for Call of Duty, because Call of Duty used to have so many fucking developers. So like one year it'd be like Modern Warfare, the next year it'd be like World at War, and the next year it'd be like Call of Duty Ghost or whatever. Like individual developers would develop, their games over a year, I think they could do something like that with this. Because this one, GoBots actually put up the biggest fight against Transformers. They were actually going head-to-head against Transformers for quite a while, for like 3 or 4 years or whatever. And they put up a decent fight. I think because of that, I think they deserve a lot of recognition. Granted, they're starting to trickle out these figures, but I would just love to see more, And as I said, there's two more after the GoBots, and these are both properties that actually Hasbro owns. So there's no reason why these products could not at least have like a cameo. Up next, let's see here. Let me look my script. Hold on, Okay, let's see here. Up next, we have another IP that Hasbro owns because they bought out the competition. Battle Beast. Now, to those who are not aware, Battle Beasts were like real small plastic figures. They had the rub sign. They actually had the same kind of technology, the rub sign, that Transformers had, but instead of it being Autobot and Decepticon, we had like Earth, Fire, and Water. And basically, from what I understand, my cousin, before he passed away, he used to collect these. And basically, this was based on like a rock paper scissors kind of game. Basically, like you had a character that's fire, it would be wood, but if you had wood and water, wood would be water, and fire would be, it was basically kind of like that. It's like Pokemon before Pokemon, basically. And from what I understand, I think that they actually did a limited crossover with Transformers and Battle Beast. But I would actually like to see Battle Beast, if not somehow turn into robots, just bring back the little PVC, figures with the rub signs. I think that'd be fucking awesome. But like I said, that's just my opinion. I'm just a fan of these type of things, and I think Battle Beast would be fucking cool. Now, here is the final of the honorable mentions, and this is a toy line that I'm not sure how many people heard of these. My one of my cousins, he actually collected these. He had a choice, when he was younger, either this upcoming product line or X-Men. And I was the one that started collecting X-Men. For me, it was Transformers. Transformers changed into Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles transformed into Toy Biz, Marvel Universe toys, that kind of stuff back in the 90s. I went through a period of dormancy, and then I went back to Transformers, But anyway, my cousin, he ended up actually collecting something called Z-Bots. The Z-Bots are basically real small. They were the subline of Micro Machines, but they were robots. They were like real fucking small. I think that these were actually either the same size as Micromasters or even a little bit smaller. But once again, if I understand it correctly, Hasbro owns this property because I think that this belonged to. Let me check. No. This Z-Bots belonged to Galoob, and apparently Hasbro, either bought them out or did something, but they ended up getting Z-Bots as part of the acquisition. I would love to see some Z-Bots, even though, I did not collect these things. My cousin collected them, and it brings back memories, because I used to remember when I'd go and visit him when I was younger. I'd bring some X-Men figures and basically have his Z-Bots, and they would fight, But yeah, so those were the honorable mentions. It's a list of stuff, like I said, that I don't think would really make it, except for two figures, those being Buzzsaw and Quick Strike. So when I return, it will be with when I return, I'll be right back or whatever, But anyway, I'll be right back with number 11. We have gone all the way from number 1, which were the Autobot and Decepticon clones. We saw some honorable mentions, which I think could actually make it into this upcoming not War for Cybertron. Why did I say War for Cybertron? I meant to say Legacy United toy line. We are now at the very final figure. We are at number 11. And this is another Beast Wars character. There's that many Beast Wars characters left from the old Beast Wars cartoon. But anyway, this is another figure I would love to see, mainly because of the fact Hasbro seems to be giving the consumers a little bit of what they want. And that is Rampage. I figure if we are going to have depth charge be put out there, why not have his arch nemesis, depth charge? These two guys literally died fighting each other. If that's not a fucking an awesome arc of a story, I don't know what is, But I had this figure when in the 90s. I only had 5 Beast Wars figures, and they were actually the larger figures. I had Optimal Optimus, Transmetal 2 Megatron. I think they also labeled Tiger Hawk as Transmetal 2, and then I had Depth Charge and Rampage. I loved Rampage. The only problem I had was when having him in his little tank mode. It was harder than hell to keep his alt mode legs kind of crammed into that into his alt mode. So I always kept him in his primary mode. But I'm hoping that if they do release this figure in Legacy United, that it is possibly like updated and have those legs be tinkered with somehow, because holy fucking shit, that fucking shit drove me crazy. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for my top 11 Legacy United figures I would love to see list. I hope you guys have had some fun. I had fun sharing this list with you. Do I expect any of these figures to be put on Legacy United? No. But it'd be nice, It's like, that's the one thing all of us fans can do, is we all have like a list of things, like a dream list of stuff we would love to see. And I just showed you my dream list. And even if these figures are not put in Legacy United, they could be put in the next trilogy, or the next trilogy after that. That's the thing about Transformers. If you wait long enough, you will find, certain figures. Well, except for Rollbar. Poor Rollbar hasn't been out since Generation 1, but we have like fucking 18,000 motherfucking bumblebees. But anyway, as always, if you liked what you watched, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a thumbs up. You can always click on subscribe, click on that bell. I have Twitter. I use Twitter. I'm hip. You can reach me at GCurseTF. And if you'd like to shoot me an email, you can leave me an email at gcursetfcollection@gmail.com. The information will actually be in the description. I know it's a little bit too small to see that up there. But anyway. So my name is Jeff, a.k.a. GCurse. Wishing you all a great day, and stay safe, everybody. Peace out.